Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine and this is Raspberry Reads. So I have been off again for a while from YouTube because I threw my back out just to add to the Christmas fun, but I am now able to sit and film for you. And so a little bit late, but better late than never, I wanted to do a gift guide for you. Now, this gift guide is going to be the most random gift guide you will ever see because there's not really any rhyme or reason to it. It's just books that I think would make excellent gifts. They're either books that I have perhaps read or gifted already. They're books that I would like myself, or they're books that I just think are really cool and would make excellent presents for people. This is also the first time that I'm going to try doing cutaways and film my laptop screen. So I'm going to talk about the recommendations that I have for you, but there'll be, hopefully, if things work out well, lots of cutaways for you to enjoy. So let's just dive right in. I can't even tell you how many recommendations I have. I've got loads of tabs open on my laptop right now, but we're starting with children's books. And so the first children's book that I have to share with you is The Littlest Yak by Lou Fraser and Kate Hindley. Now, I gifted The Littlest Yak to my nephew several years ago, and it's a perfect wintertime book. The illustrations are fantastic. I really enjoy the colorway, I guess you could say, of it. It's lots of blues and reds, very festive. And it is, I'd say, a good book for younger kids, maybe sort of age 3 to 5. But yeah, so The Littlest Yak is basically about a yak being small and feeling like she's not able to reach her potential and do what all the big kids are doing. And it's a good moral message just about showing that little yak just how she is perfect the way that she is. And yeah, I'm just looking at the synopsis now, and apparently this was a debut book from them, and it won some children's awards in 2021. But yes, The Littlest Yak makes a fantastic gift, or perhaps a stocking stuffer. Another book for young readers is one that just came out, and this is The House with the Little Red Door. I've heard several booktubers talking about this, and this book is by Thames and Hudson, who make fantastic books. I think I actually recommended them on my gift guide last year. And this book, again, is for younger children, although anybody can enjoy it, really. And what's cute about this book is that they've got lots of like cutaway illustrations. The name escapes me. I think it's Bramley Hedge. I think it's Bramley Hedge that have similar sort of cute cutaways of all of the little rooms inside the hedge and where they live. But yeah, beautiful pictures. So I think this would make a lovely gifting book for a smaller child. Another book that I haven't read, this specific one. So I have The Day the Crayons Quit, and I do enjoy that book. And this is a newer book. I think it came out this year, actually. So this is The Day the Crayons Made Friends. And the thing that I like about these books is, and I'm assuming this one's going to be the same, but let's just have a look. I don't know if there's any pictures here. But how this book is presented is that there are little notes written in different colors from each of the crayons in the story. And it's just a really sweet and sort of innovative way of presenting a story to children. So this one is the crayons are back for another adventure, and this time they explore Duncan's room. Will they want to leave the crayon box for good after they make new friends? So this they're quite funny books. Again, this would be for younger children to enjoy. And then I've got a book that would be perhaps for older children or for teenagers maybe. And this is A Year in the Castle, a look and find fantasy story by Nicola Kucharska. So I just thought that this was a really cool book. And it says that these detailed spreads charting the course of a year in a fantasy medieval castle are packed to the brim with charming characters and hilarious adventures that young readers will return to again and again. There's a lot going on in the castle of King Bolbor, a peace-loving gardener, and Queen Drogomira, a brilliant inventor. There's a princess learning sword fighting so that she can become a knight, a sweet dog in search of an owner, a dragon hiding in the cellar, a gold counting treasurer, a friendly ghost, an annoying jester, a burly blacksmith, and many others. So actually, I would say that this book is probably for younger kids. So it says children's teenager, but I would probably say that this is maybe more for sort of middle grade children. Yeah, so good opportunities to play I Spy and exploring history. So yeah, this is the type of book that I would have wanted when I was a younger kid. So if you've got a middle grade kid in your life, sort of maybe age 6 to 10, perhaps they would enjoy A Year in the Castle. All right, so we're switching direction now, and I'm going to move into nonfiction recommendations. The first one I came across on Barnes & Noble's website is this one called The Language Lover's Lexipedia, A to Z of Linguistic Curiosities. I love an etymology book, linguistics book. And this one says it is a delightful rollick through language unlike you've ever experienced. As the inventor of the best-selling game about words, Leagues of the Lexicon, Joshua Blackburn has created an A to Z that's part encyclopedia, part treasure map, and an all-round joy for anyone interested in words and language. This just sounds like a really cool book. It sounds like a book that you would gift like a dad, or put in somebody's stocking maybe, or like a Secret Santa gift exchange. Yeah, it just sounds like a really cool book. Although I have to admit, for Secret Santa, because it's out in hardcover, that might be a bit pricey for Secret Santa. But yes, Language Lover's Lexipedia, it's a book that I would enjoy, and perhaps you know somebody who would also enjoy this type of nonfiction read. All right. Particularly for my Canadian viewers, this book came out this year, and this is Margaret Atwood's memoir, which is a book of lives, a memoir of sorts. I saw Margaret Atwood being interviewed about this one, and I think she gets quite, not antagonistic, but she's very to the point in it. So I am intrigued as to what Margaret Atwood has to say in this book. Margaret Atwood, if you're not familiar, is a Canadian author, very well-known Canadian author, and I can imagine that this book sheds a lot of insight into her writing process and her inspirations for her writing. Yeah, so it's looking at how Margaret Atwood is exploring her past and revealing about her writing and her connections between real life and art. So if you know somebody in your life who enjoys reading biographies or autobiographies, then perhaps gifting them Margaret Atwood's book would be a good shout. And it's also on offer right now on Indigo if you live in Canada. Okay, if you have somebody who perhaps likes more risque books, maybe we want to say, I love Gillian Anderson. I love her so much, and this book really intrigues me. So this is Want Sexual Fantasies by Anonymous. So if you have somebody in your life who is a fan of Gillian Anderson, or perhaps they're a fan of sex education, which Gillian Anderson started, this book could be a perfect gift. So it is just little stories, anonymous stories from people who are talking about their sexual desires, I guess. So when we talk about sex, we talk about womanhood and motherhood, infidelity and exploitation, consent and respect, fairness and egalitarianism, love and hate, pleasure and pain, and yet so many of us don't talk about it at all. So Gillian Anderson collects and introduces the anonymous sexual fantasies of women from around the world. That just sounds like a delightful read, very empowering. So if you know somebody in your life that would enjoy reading more of like a sociology book about a very important topic, sexual wellness, then perhaps you could gift them Want. And if you have the type of family that would enjoy having this opened in front of everybody, then that's great, but maybe just be mindful of little ones. Moving on from Want, the next book is very, this is what I'm saying, it's completely random. So here on Blackwell's website, I found a book about medieval cats. So I'm sure I'm not the only person, but I love medieval drawings, medieval art. I particularly love medieval animals as they're drawn, and this one just caught my attention. So if you've got a medievalist in your life, if you've got a cat lover in your life, if you have an art lover in your life, why not gift them Medieval Cats, Claws, Paws, and Kitties of Yore? Fantastic title. So yeah, this book is just, it's like a coffee table book, right? But I love, as I said, medieval art. And this is just like, I'm not fat, I'm cuddly. How funny is that? Stroke me and you die. Cat. So yeah, it's a funny book. And I'm here for it. So yeah, if you're looking for an amusing book that's not too expensive. So yeah, this one perhaps would be good for Secret Santa or a stocking filler. Why not gift somebody Medieval Cats by Catherine Nappington. Along the same vein, we have this beautiful book, which is A Cloud a Day by Gavin Prechter Pinney from the Cloud Appreciation Society. Like, come on, what a great book. Beautiful cover. And this is, as it says on the tin, is all about appreciating clouds. So if you have somebody in your life who's a very visual person who enjoys coffee table books, then why not gift them a cloud a day? And they can just enjoy all these lovely clouds. They're not just photographs, they've got some art and illustrations as well. And yeah, I really think that could be a great gift for somebody. Up next, and this is a book that I would enjoy, this is Puzzle Mania, about Wordle, connections, spelling bee, minis, and more from the New York Times Games. I play Wordle and connections almost every day, and I think this would just be a book that I'd be interested in, to be perfectly honest. And so if you have somebody in your life who also enjoys playing Wordle or some of the other games that the New York Times offers, then perhaps they would enjoy this book. So yeah, so it says, inside you'll discover never before seen spins on their digital games, a mega crossword with 2 sets of clues, both easy and hard, hand-picked selection of mini crosswords, unique brain benders, logic puzzles, trivia, and so much Wordle. And that's the bit where I'm just like, oh, I love Wordle. So yeah, to be completely honest, if I get a book voucher for Christmas, I might treat myself to Puzzle Mania. We have, okay, so we're moving into fiction now. So this is What We Can Know by Ian McEwan. I happen to have a signed copy pulled up on my screen from Foils, but Ian McEwan is one of my favorite authors, I think. I can say that I've enjoyed everything that I've read that he's written. And so this is, it came out this year, and this fiction work is, I think it is dystopian. So what does it say? Why we recommend latest masterwork. is a many-layered novel. I like a many-layered novel set between the present day and the subtly dystopian 22nd century. McEwan explores language, love, poetry, academia, and the climate crisis, and most importantly, time. I mean, I don't think he could have written a book more my jam if he'd tried. So yeah, I will be picking this book up this year. If you have somebody in your life who enjoys literary fiction, Ian McEwan specifically, or if you're just looking for a solid recommendation for somebody to start exploring reading again, then I would recommend Ian McEwan's writing. I mean, it's a very, I don't want to say highbrow because that's the wrong way. It's sophisticated writing, so bear that in mind. It's not sort of like pulp fiction by any means, but if you have somebody in your life who really enjoys literature, then I do think Ian McEwan's writing is brilliant. All right, what do we have next? I'm like reminding myself as we go along. So next we have a Canadian book, which I didn't know anything about until I was perusing Indigo's website. So for non-Canadian viewers, Indigo Chapters, as it used to be called, is sort of like the main bookseller in Canada. Think Waterstones if you're in the UK, Barnes & Noble if you're in the US. So this book is The Spirit of Scatari by Leslie Crew, and this is set, I believe, in Nova Scotia. So a stunning new work of historical fiction from the best-selling author of The Spoon Stealer, set in Nova Scotia's remote Scatari Island, following three friends whose lives are inextricably bound, and the spirit who guides them. So this is set Christmas Day, so perfect for the season. It's set in 1922, and okay, so we're near Cape Breton, and it's about how these characters grow up together in their home place. And then we've got it being set in the Second World War and in changing their lives. So I think that anybody who likes sort of general historical fiction would probably enjoy this. If it's set in Nova Scotia, it'll probably be pretty good because that's quite an atmospheric landscape to be featured in a book. And I do love a historical fiction that focuses on multiple characters and the relationships between them. So this book, I believe, came out this year. Am I right? Yeah, came out in September 2025. So to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know if this book is yet available outside of Canada. So that's something that you'd have to look into. But I suppose if you are in Canada and you're looking for a historical fiction recommendation, then why not try The Spirit of Scatari? Oh my goodness, I should have had somebody from Nova Scotia explain to me how to pronounce that, but anyways. All right, moving on. You can tell that I've been talking for a while because my voice is starting to go. So here is The Silver Book by Olivia Laing, and I'm looking at the London Review Bookshop website. So this is by Hamish Hamilton. It came out just recently, and I feel like I saw somebody talking about this book on BookTube, and that's why I thought it'd be interesting. So it's a short book. It's 288 pages, and what does it say? So it's set in 1974. I know this is a queer book featuring queer characters. So two men meet by chance in Venice. One is a young English artist in panicked flight from London. The other is Danilo Donati, the magician of Italian cinema, the designer responsible for realizing the spectacular visions of Fellini and Pasolini. Donati is in Venice to produce sketches for Fellini's Casanova. A young and beautiful apprentice is just what he needs. He sweeps Nicholas to Rome, into the looking-glass world of Cinecittà, the studio where Casanova's Venice will be ingeniously assembled. And so they fall in love. So yeah, this is a queer love story and a noirish thriller set in the dream factory of cinema. So that sounds really intriguing. I do love a queer story. I also like history of film. The 1920s is such a fascinating time. So yeah, if you've got somebody in your life who likes historical fiction, who enjoys film history, then why not gift them The Silver Book by Olivia Lang? Okay, along the same vein as that, just coincidentally, also set in Venice, I have to recommend The Glassmaker by Tracy Chevalier. Yeah, so if you're looking for something more mainstream, I would say historical fiction, then you can't go wrong with Tracy Chevalier, and this one is also set in Venice. So this is quite a sweeping novel. It is, there's like a fantastical element to it where you look at one family across centuries set in Venice and the glassmaking history. Yeah, and the main character is Ursula Rosso, and she is unusually a woman in the glass making industry, and it just follows her and her family throughout the centuries. And it is just a beautiful book. I listened to it on audiobook, which I did enjoy, but I can see gifting this book as well in paperback form. And now that it is in paperback, you're looking at a fairly good deal, I would say. It is on offer right now on Waterstone's website for $7.49. And yeah, I think this one would be sort of an easy choice, a safe choice, let's say, if you know somebody that enjoys reading. A book that I would like to get for myself, so I have to recommend it to anybody who enjoys sci-fi and fantasy, or specifically fantasy, actually. So this is Alchemized by Senyin Liu, and this has just been everywhere. So it is an epic story, masterful fantasy about an alchemist with memory loss brought before a powerful necromancer to discover what information she might harbor about the resistance. So yeah, pure fantasy, sounds really intriguing, and it is very popular right now. So if you've got a fantasy lover in your life, then why not gift them this one? I will say, I don't think this is romantasy. I think this is pure fantasy, so just bear that in mind. And last but not least, I thought I would give a shout out again to the Folio Society. So I've recommended them before. I have a couple of cherished books from the Folio Society, and I know that I am receiving this for Christmas. So I asked my brother, or rather he asked me what I would like for my birthday, which is very close to Christmas. And I said, you know what, it's really frivolous, but I would like Piranesi from the Folio Society, because look how beautiful this book is. So Piranesi, I would highly recommend if you haven't read it. It is sort of like a mystery fiction. It says here it's a novel is both a dream and a puzzle, and it's one of those books that you can't really tell people a lot about. You just have to experience it for yourself. But I think I would say with this one, don't invest in such a beautiful copy unless you know that person will enjoy the book. It's more of a collector's item. But yeah, so I'm holding up this just so I can do my audio while looking at my computer. Those are all the books that I have to recommend to you for this gifting season. Have you read any of these books already? Are they on your wish list, or have you already spotted them and you think, yes, I know somebody who would like that? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you are really stuck and none of these are sort of the right choice, just put a comment and I will see if I can help you out and give you some different suggestions for somebody in your life. But yeah, best of luck with your holiday shopping. And I hope this video has been helpful for you today, and I will see you soon in a new video. Take care and happy holidays.